Hello and welcome to this summary of the West Midlands Enhancement of Learning Support project. I'm Ali O'Brien, the Specialist Support for the West Midlands region and also National Project Director. This work is part of a national project commissioned by ELSIS, whose overall aim is to support the training and development needs of learning support staff and those who manage them. This is a national programme with work being undertaken in all 9 regions, and here in the West Midlands we're focusing on developing alternative approaches to CPD. If you are interested in the other activities, then please look at them on the NatSpec website, www.natspec.org.uk. This video has been developed to enable those of you who are unable to attend the first event due to the horrendous snow that we had, to understand the context of the work we're doing and to introduce you to the draft resources we've developed, so that you can take the opportunity to use and comment on them between now and the next event. Talking to learning support staff and those who manage them, we learnt that currently a lot of training focuses, perhaps understandably, on compliance, health and safety, safeguarding and equality and diversity. But there's often little that is targeted at the real job, the more specialist areas associated with supporting learning. When we did ask people what training they'd found useful, practitioners often told us that what they valued was learning from others in their own organisations, for example, through approaches such as buddying, shadowing and mentoring. But typically, these only happened at induction or were simply not available to learning support staff. We know there's a lot of expertise in organisations like yours, and the work in the West Midlands is about supporting you to tap into that and to provide you with some simple guidance to help you make better use of alternative approaches to sharing knowledge and developing effective practice amongst staff more easily. And we'd also like to take this opportunity to say thank you to Just TechDisc, who've worked with us actually across the whole project, but in particular in the West Midlands, to develop some of the resources you'll use from the Exploiting Technology workshop. We believe that this is a really exciting opportunity for practitioners and providers in the West Midlands to contribute to a national project, and the resources we develop as a result of this work will be shared with practitioners from across the country. We think these approaches are really valuable because they can be delivered relatively quickly and easily, make good use of staff time, are relatively low cost, and represent an effective method for your organisation to invest in the professional development of learning support staff. The rest of this video will be taken up with a brief overview from each of the workshops, followed by a short conclusion. We'll start with an input from Katie McComb of Walford and North Shropshire College on how best we can use reflection to make the best uses of learning from naturally occurring events.
Hi folks, I'm Katie. Just a few minutes on my workshop. The workshop that I did focused on 2 separate but connecting issues. One was critical reflection and how critical reflection can help us learn better and learn from those sorts of experiences that we come across naturally every day that we don't always think about as being learning experiences, but they're very important. And how we can use a more formal approach to critical reflection to best advantage. And then the other thing that we spoke about was how we can share those experiences for the benefit of others. If you look on your memory stick, what you'll find are 2 templates, 2 alternative templates for recording critical reflection. You can choose either of those, or you could choose a combination, or you could devise something completely different. It's entirely up to you. And then the idea was to then bring those critical reflections to a learn and share meeting of LSAs. During the workshop, obviously we spoke about what the challenges for that were, because that's the difficult bit. One is time, there's never enough of it. The other is to do with logistics, how do we get all our LSAs together, and we spoke about perhaps doing it over lunchtime, and maybe a bit of an incentive, having a free lunch, that sort of thing. We talked about doing it in groups where you've got a big group of LSAs that you couldn't possibly all get together. And then we spoke about who should be at these learn and share meetings, and the general consensus was that maybe, depending, it was a good idea that management shouldn't be there, because then people can be more open about their learning needs, etc. So if you have a look again on your stick at the PowerPoint presentation for my workshop, you'll see the final slide that gives you some idea of how you could possibly take this forward. Whether or not you have decide to take the critical reflection recording forward only, whether or not you decide to go for some learn and share meetings only, whether or not you have a combination of the two. So if you do decide to pilot something from this workshop, please don't be afraid to give us a bell or drop us an email if you want any clarification or if you want to chat something through or whatever. And we look forward to seeing you in February at RAF Cosford. Thanks. Bye.
Hello again. Now I'm going to talk to you briefly about the contents of my workshop, Learning from Colleagues, Formal Approaches. This workshop was focused on how to formalise some of the alternative approaches to sharing knowledge that we know can be so effective to improving practice. These include shadowing, mentoring, buddying, and something we refer to as learn and share. You might call it something else in your organisation. For each of these, we developed some straightforward guidance and information, which we hope will help you to implement these in your own organisations if they're not already in place. For each area, we've produced a guidance document, and each of these contains information about what it is, why you might do it, who might do it, when and where. Most importantly, and we hope this is the bit that you'll look at, there's a how-to section, which we hope will support you in implementing it should you choose to do so. In addition, we tried to take out some of the pressure on you by producing some sample examples of documents that you could use. So there's a shadowing activity, development plan and log, a mentoring agreement, a mentee development plan, and also a PowerPoint presentation, which is an introduction to mentoring that you might be able to use to introduce the concept and process to would-be mentees. These are all on your memory stick and also on the NatSpec website, and they're all in a Word format or editable format so that you can edit or amend as you like. We do know that the time between now and the next event is very, very short, and that you're not, for example, going to be able to implement and evaluate a mentoring system. We hope, however, that you will take the time to look at the guidance for at least one of these approaches and to critically review it. We're also incredibly keen to see any examples you may have and to learn from your experiences about how colleagues can work together. We're now going to hear from Louise Keevil from Derwent College, who'll talk to you briefly about exploiting technology and using it to help you make the best use of your limited and very precious time.
Hi, I'm Louise. My workshop's called Exploiting Technology. It's all about being creative with stolen time. We put some simple resources on a memory stick, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd have a look. We really like the idea because we think it's accessible. We believe our resources are engaging, which hopefully makes them memorable. And also you can record your experience, use and reflect. There's an Exploiting Technology folder on your memory stick, so if you have a look in there, you'll see a Word document. That document's a contents page, and it's just like a contents page in a book, really, in that gives you a little bit of information about what you're going to find inside. If you click the hyperlink, it takes you straight into the resource. My recommendation would be that you try the SimDisk resource first. So really, short and sweet, have a go, tell us what you think when you come to see us on the 17th, and we look forward to working with you. Cheers, bye-bye.
Thank you for taking the time to watch our summary of the West Midlands event. We hope you found it useful. Please do take the time to undertake some form of development activity between now and the next event. You might want to set up a reflective diary, hold a learn and share meeting, or review one of the guidance documents. We'd really value your feedback, and there's some guidance on the next steps presentation on your memory stick about how you can share the outcomes of your experience with us. We'd also love to see any documents or resources you've developed, so please do email those to us via Bev, who I know has been very, very effective in emailing you regularly. We'll be in touch soon to find out how you're getting on, and very much look forward to meeting you on the 17th of February at RAF Cosford, so make sure that date is in your diary. Thanks for watching.